Pre-recorded and heavily edited from New York, it's season 2 of See You Tonight. Say what you will about the Columbia administration, you can't say they aren't responsive to student voices. Take this op-ed penned by the blog staff back in April of 2017, which argues, quote, no university really needs a marching band, just like no university needs a football team. Just like no university needs a tree lighting ceremony or an elaborate surf and turf dinner. School spirit is just a manufactured falsehood to distract students from the way that we should actually be spending our time at Columbia, working ourselves to death, end quote. Hey, you say to yourself, that's some funny stuff. And it's obviously satire because something like that would never actually happen, right? Last Wednesday, news broke that the marching band is, from here on out, marching banned from all Columbia athletic events. The group best known for Orgo Night, one of 3 traditions we have at Columbia, and for generally doing fun things, has now lost all fundings from the university. According to the marching band's official statement, the athletics department will be seeking to create a new spirit organization overseen by a faculty director. I don't know if that was supposed to make us excited, grateful. It's just usually not a great look to announce that you'll be taking over something in the same statement you announce killing the thing you're replacing. At least Scar had the decency to not mention that he killed Mufasa when he announced that he'd be taking over the Pride Lands with evil hyenas. All this means that for the first time since 1904, the Columbia football and basketball teams will play their games without any Pantone 292 striped polos on the sidelines. Boo. In what was probably my favorite part of the entire official statement, Columbia Athletics explained that they had moved to secure community music groups to perform at home athletic contests. I love this. Firstly, it's so vague. This announcement was made 3 days before the first home football game, and the only description they had for what they were going to do that was better than the marching band was community music groups. What does that even mean? The last time I heard musicians call themselves a community music group, it was a Grateful Dead cover band at my local Applebee's. We're just playing for the community, man. Secondly, the word community has this ethical connotation to it. Man, you students are just so selfish. You've been hogging that halftime show for years, while there are trombone players out there who dream of playing for Columbia football games. It's time we gave the gift of Lions football to the community. Woo! But not everything is evil at Columbia these days. For years, Butler Library has taken heat for the names engraved in its facade, who all just happen to be from this one preppy country club in Greece. This week, a group of students working with the library put up a banner bearing the names of 8 of the most influential women writers of all time. As the devil's advocate in your CC class forewarned, immediately after the banner went up, Columbia lost all intellectual rigor, men stopped feeling safe on campus, and Meatless Monday was extended to every day of the week. But my favorite detail about this new banner isn't the representation or the sobering realization that I only recognize 2 of the names. No, it's that shit is in alphabetical order. I would have loved to be in the room when that was decided. Like, fuck that Butler facade. Not only did they just pick old dead white guys, but they just threw them on there like fucking savages in random order. But I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go Handmaid's Tale up in this bitch, and we're gonna make a new list of names, and that shit's gonna be alphabetized as fuck, to the 3rd letter. That's it for my rant. We'll be back with the rest of breaking news from your favorite university. Now I'm joined by Maddie Worrell to deliver you some of the breaking news from the university that US News calls the 3rd-ranked university in the world, but we call our second choice. Wish I got into Harvard.
Barnard Dining has finally switched away from food service that was known for also serving prison food. However, the switch has resulted in no more smoothies. I guess smoothies are prison food? I mean, seriously, who do you have to fuck to get a smoothie? Like a minor?
Columbia is redeveloping the 125th Street McDonald's as part of the Manhattanville campus. As part of the redevelopment, the university is offering jobs to all former McDonald's employees. A nice gesture. In unrelated news, it's possible I've been overthinking what my philosophy professor meant when he said, I don't know any of this. I thought I was working at McDonald's.
It's cuffing season. In a touching turn of events, an Israeli girl and a Palestinian boy on campus have defied all stereotypes and started dating. People are celebrating the adorable couple, but personally, I think she's settling.
For the second year in a row, students gathered on Low Steps for the climate strike. So far, that's 2 strikes. Hey, climate change, this is America. You better not stick around to find out what happens after strike 3.
This was the first week of October, so Halloween is already creeping towards us. A yearly reminder as you consider your outfit, a culture is not a costume. For example, it's super uncool to dress up as a Native American. If you're actually Native American, because that's just really boring and shows a lack of effort. Also, you're not creative, Steve, and you're not fooling anyone.
After an investigation by the university's Standing Committee on the Conduct of Research, history professor Charles Armstrong has been removed from the faculty for citing non-existent or irrelevant sources in at least 61 instances in his 2016 book. A fair punishment, but I'll never understand why a history professor would want to cite Columbia Spectator in the first place.
Dunkin' Donuts is opening a new location beneath Plimpton Hall, adding a whole new meaning to the classic phrase, "I totally dunked my dick in a donut over Plimpton last night."
After being forced to shut their doors last year, Morningside staple Nussbaum and Wu reopened this year under a new name, Wu and Nussbaum. Following suit, several notable figures have decided to similarly rebrand in order to win back public support. These include Spacey Kevin, Brown Chris, and 2012 Coney. And lastly, us. After complaints about the offensive nature of our content, we've decided to change up the business model, rename the show, and win the people back. We'll now be going by our new name, CU Night 2, and our interns made this cool new acronym. See you next time on CU Night 2.